Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went in there? Or maybe you found yourself struggling to recall a familiar name that was just on the tip of your tongue? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. As we age, little lapses like these can start to feel more frequent. And for many people over 60, it can be a bit unsettling. But here's the truth. Getting older doesn't mean your brain has to slow down. In fact, there's a lot you can do to stay mentally sharp every single day. You see, your brain is a lot like a muscle. It needs regular care, exercise, and the right kind of fuel to stay in top shape. And the good news is, you don't need to do anything complicated or extreme to give your brain what it needs. Just a few small, intentional habits, backed by real science, can make a powerful difference in how clearly you think, how well you remember things, and even how happy and focused you feel. So today, we're going to talk about 7 simple daily habits that can help you keep your brain sharp after 60. These aren't just random tips. They're backed by research and proven to support brain health in seniors. And the best part? Most of them take just a few minutes a day, but they can have lasting impact on your memory, focus, and mental clarity. Let's start with the first habit, and it's one of the easiest ones to overlook: drinking water. Now, I know that might not sound very exciting, but stay with me. Dehydration is one of the sneakiest causes of brain fog, confusion, and fatigue, especially in older adults. As we age, our sense of thirst becomes less reliable, so you might not feel thirsty even when your body desperately needs water. And even mild dehydration can impact brain function. It can make it harder to concentrate, slow down your thought process, and even affect your mood. So what can you do? Start your day with a glass of water before your coffee or tea. Keep a refillable water bottle nearby, something easy to sip throughout the day. You don't need to drown yourself in gallons of water, but aim for a steady intake. Think of it like watering a plant, a little at a time, consistently. Your brain will thank you for it, and you'll likely notice you feel more alert, clear-headed, and even in a better mood. Now let's talk about something that might surprise you: learning something new every day. You don't have to go back to school or pick up a college textbook. I'm talking about small moments of curiosity, reading an article about a topic you don't know much about, watching a short documentary, learning a few words in another language, or even challenging yourself with a new recipe. When you learn new things, you're literally building new connections in your brain, strengthening your memory, your attention span, and your mental flexibility. There's a term for this in neuroscience: neuroplasticity. It means your brain has the ability to grow and adapt, even well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. But like any skill, you have to use it or lose it. So instead of watching the same old reruns or scrolling through the news over and over, try feeding your brain something fresh. It doesn't have to take more than 10 or 15 minutes a day. It could be as simple as asking, "What's one thing I can learn today that I didn't know yesterday?" And here's a bonus tip. If you really want to supercharge your brain while learning something new, try doing it with your non-dominant hand. Brush your teeth with your left hand if you're right-handed. Stir your soup with the other hand. These small physical challenges also stimulate brain activity by forcing it to adapt in new ways. It sounds silly, but it works. Now let's move on to something a little more physical: movement. Not intense exercise, not a boot camp or a marathon. I'm talking about daily movement, just getting your body moving each day. Even if it's a short walk around the block, dancing in the living room to your favorite song, or stretching for a few minutes in the morning, can do wonders for your brain. Movement increases blood flow, and that means more oxygen and nutrients are getting to your brain. It also helps stimulate the release of chemicals like dopamine and serotonin, which can improve your mood, motivation, and mental clarity. And here's something fascinating. Walking, especially in nature, has been linked to better memory and cognitive function in seniors. Just 20 to 30 minutes of walking a day has been shown to reduce the risk of cognitive decline. And it doesn't have to be done all at once. 3 10-minute sessions throughout the day work just as well. The key is consistency. The more regularly you move, the more resilient your brain becomes. So maybe tomorrow morning, instead of sitting with the TV for an hour, take a quick stroll, or stand up and do some gentle stretching while your coffee brews. It's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about doing something every day to keep your brain and body working together. Now that we've talked about staying hydrated, learning something new, and getting daily movement in, you're already well on your way to supporting your brain in a powerful way. But there's more. Simple, meaningful changes that can take you even further. Simple, meaningful changes that can take you even further. And this next one is something most people overlook, but it can have a massive impact on your mental sharpness. Sleep. Now, you've probably heard people say, "Oh, I don't need much sleep anymore." Or maybe you've even found yourself waking up earlier than you used to. even if you went to bed late. And sure, sleep patterns do shift a bit as we age, but that doesn't mean our brains need less rest. In fact, quality sleep becomes even more important after 60. Think of sleep like your brain's nightly cleanup crew. While you're resting, your brain is busy sorting memories, clearing out waste products, and resetting itself for the next day. When you don't get enough deep, uninterrupted sleep, your brain struggles to function at full capacity. That's when you start forgetting words, losing focus, or feeling groggy all day. So how can you improve your sleep without relying on sleeping pills? Start with a consistent bedtime. Your brain loves routine. Try winding down at least an hour before bed by turning off the TV, dimming the lights, and doing something calming like reading or listening to soft music. Avoid caffeine too late in the day and skip the heavy late-night snacks. And if you're waking up frequently in the night, try not to panic or stress about it. Get up, stretch, breathe, maybe write in a journal, then go back to bed when you feel ready. It's okay if it's not perfect every night. What matters is that you're giving your body and brain a real chance to recharge. When you do, you'll feel more alert, less anxious, and more mentally sharp during the day. Now let's talk about a habit that doesn't require lifting a finger, but has powerful effects on your brain: staying socially connected. This one might surprise you, but having regular, meaningful conversations, even short ones, can boost your brain health as much as learning or physical activity. Why? Because conversation activates multiple areas of your brain at once: memory, emotion, language, attention, and reasoning. It's like a full brain workout without even leaving your chair. And no, you don't need a dozen close friends or big social gatherings. That's not what it's about. A phone call with your grandchild, a chat with a neighbor, saying hello to someone at the grocery store. These small connections help keep your mind engaged and emotionally balanced. They remind your brain that you're part of something bigger, that you matter, and that people care. Loneliness, on the other hand, can have serious effects on brain function. Studies have shown that chronic loneliness in seniors is linked to faster cognitive decline. It's not about being surrounded by people all the time. It's about having regular, quality interaction, however small. If you're not sure where to start, try joining a local book club, taking a class at the community center, or volunteering once a week. Even online communities or video chats can offer great connection. Your brain craves stimulation, and one of the best ways to feed it is through conversation and shared experiences. Let's shift to something you can do in complete silence, something that might feel strange at first, but can truly transform the way your brain works. Mindfulness. I know the word gets thrown around a lot, but at its core, mindfulness is simply the practice of being fully present, paying attention to what's happening right now, without judgment, not worrying about what happened yesterday, not planning what's coming tomorrow, just being here. Now, why does that matter for your brain? Because when you train your attention to stay in the moment, even for just 5 minutes a day, you're exercising the parts of your brain responsible for focus, emotional regulation, and memory. In fact, brain scans show that regular mindfulness practice can actually increase gray matter in areas of the brain involved in learning and decision-making. And no, you don't have to sit cross-legged on a yoga mat with your eyes closed. You can be mindful while sipping tea, while walking, while folding laundry. It's just about tuning into what you're doing, feeling the warmth of the cup, noticing the breeze on your face, listening to your own breath. That's mindfulness. One simple way to get started: try the 5-4-3-2-1 technique. Wherever you are, pause and name 5 things you can see, 4 you can touch, 3 you can hear, 2 you can smell, and 1 you can taste or imagine tasting. It's a grounding practice that brings your awareness into the present and gives your brain a moment to rest and reset. The beauty of mindfulness is that it helps you respond to life. Instead of just reacting, it keeps you calmer, more centered, and far less likely to feel overwhelmed or mentally scattered. And that clarity, that's where the magic happens. Better memory, sharper thinking, and a deeper sense of peace. So far, we've looked at how simple changes, drinking more water, moving your body, learning something new, getting better sleep, connecting with others, and practicing mindfulness can dramatically sharpen your mind after 60. But we're not done just yet. There's still one more daily habit that pulls everything together. It's powerful, underrated, and often the very first thing people stop doing when life gets stressful. But it might just be the most important habit of all: enjoyment. Yes, you heard that right. Doing something every day that brings you joy, something that lights you up, makes you smile, or helps you feel alive, is more than just good for your spirit. It's incredibly good for your brain too. When you engage in enjoyable activities, your brain releases chemicals like dopamine and endorphins, the feel-good messengers. These chemicals aren't just about boosting your mood. They actually support memhas, ori, motivation, learning, and mental clarity. They reduce stress hormones like cortisol, which can cause inflammation and even damage parts of the brain over time if left unchecked. So ask yourself this: what brings you joy? Not what used to bring you joy 20 years ago, but what still makes you feel present and alive now. Maybe it's gardening or painting or playing music. Maybe it's baking or doing puzzles, or even just sitting quietly with a cup of tea and a favorite book. And here's the important part: make space for it. Every single day, if you can, even if it's just 10 minutes. The world tells us that productivity is what matters most, but the truth is, rest and joy are essential for a healthy, balanced, and sharp mind. You don't need permission to enjoy your life. You've earned it. Joy isn't just a luxury, it's brain fuel. When you start treating enjoyment like it matters, because it does, you'll begin to notice shifts in your clarity, your energy, even your relationships. You'll feel more connected to yourself, more at ease, and with less tension clouding your thoughts, your mind can work the way it was designed to. Now let's take a breath and bring it all together. You don't need to do all 7 of these habits perfectly every day, starting tomorrow. That's not realistic, and honestly, it's not necessary. What matters is consistency, not perfection. Choose 1 or 2 to begin with. Maybe start by drinking that glass of water first thing in the morning and adding in a short walk after lunch. Or try 5 minutes of mindfulness before bed and reach out to someone for a quick chat. Small steps, done consistently, create real, lasting change. Your brain is still capable of growing, learning, adapting, no matter your age. Don't believe the myth that your best years are behind you. They're not even close. In fact, many people find their 60s, 70s, and 80s to be some of the richest, most meaningful years of their lives, especially when they take care of their mind, body, and soul. You are not too old to change. You are not too old to grow. And you are certainly not too old to feel sharp, clear, and fully alive. So give yourself that gift. Try 1 habit today, just 1. You'll be amazed at how quickly your brain responds when you treat it with the care and attention it deserves. And now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you already do to keep your brain healthy, or one habit you're excited to try after watching this? Share it with us in the comments below. Your story might inspire someone else who needs that extra encouragement today. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more practical, uplifting tips on health, wellness, and living fully, no matter your age. Remember, you don't need a younger brain. You need a nourished, challenged, and joyful one. Here's to living your best life, one day and one habit at a time.